Although not teeming with wildlife like Etosha, the Namib Desert is still one of the biggest attractions in Namibia. These scenes were taken near Kulala Wilderness Lodge, a 37,000 hectare reserve, which is also very close to the huge apricot-coloured sand dunes at Sossusvlei. The afternoon nature drive gave us a really good opportunity to get the lie of the land, but it was like driving along a sea of grass to get up towards these mountains. But one of the reasons for coming here was to take a balloon flight the following morning over the Namib Desert itself. For the 3 days prior to our arrival, all flights had been cancelled because of high winds. But on the morning of our flight, at 5 o'clock, we had an early morning call to tell us that we were in luck, and preparations were already underway for our balloon to be inflated. Apart from being pretty cool, it was a perfect morning for a flight, with cloudless skies. No sooner had we got airborne than the support crew were in their trucks and getting ready to track us across the desert. The guidebooks tell you that reputedly this is the oldest desert in the world. Some 43 million years old, in fact. It covers a vast area, including the whole 1,300-mile coastline down the western edge of Namibia. In order to find the rising pockets of air that would carry us on our journey, the pilots were constantly making adjustments. But apart from the occasional burner noise, and that of the excited tourists busily taking their photographs, the piece was absolutely superb. From 1,500 feet it's reassuring to look down and see the support trucks still tracking us. They've got our all-important breakfast on board for when we land. From this height it looks as if the desert is actually empty, but of course it isn't. It was the shadow of this oryx that first gave it away to us, and whilst we remain silent, it's oblivious to our presence. But as soon as the burner comes on, as we drift further west, we begin to leave the mountains behind and get closer to the dunes, although of course we'll never reach Sossusvlei, it's still far too far away. After an hour or so's flight, with the winds fading away, we've only covered about 8 or 9 kilometres, and so our pilots start to look for a landing spot. But they can't just land anywhere because of the damage they might do to the reserve. They have to look for a landing site near a track so that the trucks can get to them quite easily. At this stage in the flight, you're usually warned to prepare yourself for a bumpy landing. In fact, our lady pilot did better than that. She landed the basket flat on the deck, so all we had to do was hop out and come to our table for breakfast. Whilst we're enjoying ourselves having breakfast, the support staff are working hard trying to remove any trace of our being there. One of the benefits of staying at Kulala Lodge is that it has easy access to the road down to Sossusvlei. In the afternoon light, the dunes look stunning, no more so than this one. This is Dune 45, so called because it's 45 kilometres from the main Sesriem road. It's by no means the tallest here at 170 metres, but it is very close to the road, and so people often climb it. If the tarmac road to Dune 45 looked easy, the last stretch towards Deadvlei is anything but, and you really do need a 4x4 vehicle. On this particular afternoon we practically had the place to ourselves, and got a wonderful view, as you can see here, of Big Daddy. This is the tallest dune in the area, at over 300 metres. Although this is allegedly the driest desert in Africa, it does hold water in the rainy season. Dead or Hidden Vlei, which you can see coming into view now, still has the remains of an ancient forest. These trees are claimed to be anything up to 900 years old. The clay pan is now, of course, completely devoid of any moisture, but the sculptural quality of these trees makes for fantastic photographic opportunities. So too do the sunsets, but that's a story for another time.